goes back to what you're saying about having a circle or people around you that could, when you were having those off times,
Yeah.
and that's something that we all need because especially in this business, or I should say just in life, there's a lot of ups and downs, and if you don't have either people, supportive people, just in your reach, because
Yeah.
look at that situation. You had
Yeah.
someone you were cool with just put a little bug in your ear. Then you have
Yeah.
another person who was just supportive and say, "Nah, you got that." Just putting
Hmm.
those planting those seeds. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So it's it's crucial again to have to sort out good people.
Yes.
People with intent and surround yourself with good people because we all got to work together. And it's better for all of us,
Yeah.
especially in those times. And
Special.
another thing that you touched on that doesn't always get addressed is, you know, being an business is based on creativity. Like a lot of times, being creative, and there's a lot of things that happen in our personal lives
Yes.
that the public not necessarily sees,
Right.
and all they see is, oh, you popping, oh, you not, oh, this, oh, that, and you're here today, you're going tomorrow, but they don't know all of the things that's going on. And I think people got to be mindful of that.
Yeah.
People got to remember that actors, musicians, entertainers, we're all human, and we
Yeah.
go through things. And I just wanted to put that out there because people
That's real.
forget.
And
You
that's
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 real.
that's that that's real shit because no one talks about that. No one
Yeah.
talks about the personal battles, right?
Yes.
The personal battles, and if you don't have the right support system, there's no way for you to continue in this game.
That's real.
This game takes so much from you, and when tragedy hits, right? Because you and I have gone through the same thing in the loss of parents.
Hmm.
If you don't have a support system, you unravel.
Yeah.
And that's just keeping it. When this is before pandemic and all that other
Right.
extra
Right.
stuff and inflation, the way things are right now, which
Yeah.
is even worse than what it was. When these things were going on or occurring. So it's
Hmm.
like you said, and like what Mike's saying, it's like you have to have that support system, and when things get a little crazy, life gets crazy, and then it's kind of like, okay, what am I going to do? How am I going to continue doing this? And sometimes, like you say, you lose a piece of you. When you lose a
Yeah.
parent, you lose a piece. Like
Yeah.
there's no
That's
way that
it.
no one can explain it to you. If all those people out there who've ever lost a parent, when you lose a parent, it's like you're never the same. And what
Hmm.
you're trying to do is you're trying to find another sense of normalcy again,
Yeah.
and continue to kind of work and kind of honor them at the same time, right? Because they want you to be successful. They wanted to see you in those lights, so you want to continue to do that, but at the same time, you're trying to find that drive for yourself,
Right.
and it's tough. And again, if it's like I always appreciate the way that you were able to pivot.
Mm.
So we were there when everything was happening, and it was
Yeah.
like it was like you decided to take the pivot, and you didn't look back. You just pivoted, and you said, okay, we're gonna do this different,
Right.
and we kept it pushing. And look, like you said, like if you don't keep playing the game, you can't win.
Right. Right. Not look at the success. If you would have just sat by. Let's keep it a buck, man. Like, yeah, you gotta take the time out for a minute. Collect. Take that moment. Take that moment. You need it. Your body needs to get that rest. Clear your mind. You
Yep.
know, go away for a minute. Get everything together, but do not stop. Do not quit. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
If you do that, it's a huge disservice to yourself and your loved ones and the ones who count on you and the ones that are looking for you for guidance and inspiration. So
Man.
if you want to leave a legacy, keep pushing.
Just to touch on what, if I may, you said, if you got to take a minute, take some time, that's self-care, that's self-care. And it's something that especially I feel like, well, just period for all of us, this world right now needs a lot of healing and self care. But especially for our society, our people, our community, we have to. I think we're becoming more aware of that, and we just need to do more of it, and be more cognizant of when we need it. For example, I know personally, like, I have a time where I take myself away from social media. I'm doing that now. As a matter of fact, like, I haven't done interviews, podcasts like that. You guys are the first one since I've taken a break for the last couple of months. Like, just need to step away, and it's interesting because then eventually, depending on how much you're posting, what you're doing, because a lot of times for me, it's really more so, listen, if I got to promote work, a project I'm working on, every once in a while I may have something that I want to say that might be inspirational or motivational, but taking that time to step away from, because of what can feel like a rat race, right? Or it can feel like you're in this hamster wheel. I gotta post, I gotta do, like, no, you don't have to. You want to, and you do it with a purpose. But when you start to rely on that, to fill whatever void that is, whatever loss, whatever, then that's when it becomes something else.
Right.
And so I feel when you said take that moment, that's something I've been doing as of late, and just step away, and not be as engaged. Jump in when I feel like it, get back to when you feel like it. And this is how, as an artist, as creatives, I think that the way that we are able to really just proceed and survive and get, and when we need to, get the energy back into that battery, and get re-energized and kind of reset, or like they'll say in the military, recalibrate. Because if I got to take the moment to do that, while I'm, or else you continue on, what happens? You burn out. Right? You burn out. So as a creative, as an artist, whether you're, whether you're acting, producing, writing, dancing, singing, doesn't matter. As a creative artist, you have to take that. We, like you said earlier, we give so much of our energy. That's energy, dog. That's energy and time we put into what we create, right? We take a part of ourselves in everything that we do. You put a beat together, and I notice a person, being trained by y'all, like, you're taking a portion of your spirit and your energy, and finding a rhythm, and finding a hi-hat, what I'm saying? And finding a kick, a bass, whatever, a snare. So it's like, that's something, that means something. That's energy, though. That's an exchange of energy that's creating. So when we need to take the break, take the break. That's a message to the artists out there, for real.
So on that note, talking about piece of yourself, and we're gonna go into more of a high note. Like when it's time to get into these roles, like, and how do you train? How do you prepare yourself? Like when you get these, because sometimes you got different things that you're jumping in back and forth. Like, how do you prepare for the roles? How do you take us through your
preparation
without giving out maybe your secrets, but just kind of walk us through that whole process. Like, how's that like?
That's what I definitely want to know. The same thing. I was going to ask the same question. It's like, how do you prepare? How do you prepare for the role? What's the daily operating rhythm? How do you get into it?
Because then, I had some studio sessions. Some people want the lights dim, and they do their little, they want the candle set. They want their Hennessy right there, and they want those. So, like, how do you,
So great question, fellas. Great question, and that question comes up a lot during interviews. So it's actually similar, but not exactly the same.